Welcome to the Deep Dive. We take your sources, your research, your notes, and really dig into them to pull out the key insights.
Exactly. We sift through it all so you get the core information.
And today, wow, we're heading into some pretty profound territory. We're exploring, the threads of cause and effect in life.
Looking at how personal stories, often really intense ones, can actually shine a light on bigger truths.
Yeah, and the material you, our listeners, sent in is incredibly diverse. We've got everything from, well, frankly, tragic events to really inspiring life stories.
And they all offer this unique window into life's lessons, don't they?
They really do. Okay, let's unpack this then. Today we're diving into this rich tapestry of human experience. Stories touching on heartbreak, resilience.
And that fascinating, often complex idea of karma.
Right. Our mission is to find the most important nuggets of wisdom in these really candid accounts you've shared. And we'll frame the spiritual interpretations from your material as, perspectives to help understand.
What's fascinating here, I think, is how these stories, which seem quite different on the surface, when viewed through the spiritual lens in your sources, they actually reveal a kind of consistent framework.
A framework for understanding.
Yeah, offering perspectives on why they're suffering, but also where profound joy comes from. It shows how past actions and choices now really intertwine, shaping destiny, shaping how we understand things.
That framework, it probably helps approach even a story as heartbreaking as this first one. It really highlights those unseen dimensions, doesn't it?
It does.
We're starting with the account of a student's friend, a young man who, well, everyone thought had a really bright future ahead.
Yeah, sounded like a great kid, cheerful, good-natured, third-year accountancy student at
Chulalongkorn University, right?
Yeah.
An athlete, even the lead singer in his faculty's band,
Yeah.
just, seemed to have it all going for him.
Until he didn't.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Tragedy struck. He jumped from the 4th floor of a university building. Yeah. An hour later, he passed away in the hospital.
Just awful.
The newspapers, well, they speculated suicide because of heartbreak. But our source, your notes, mentioned the full truth wasn't really known. He was only with a female friend on the balcony at the time.
So still some mystery there.
Yeah. And our listener and their friends were understandably just deeply shaken, concerned. They were aware from this spiritual perspective that suicide can lead to, well, suffering in the afterlife.
Right, that's a core belief in this context.
So they didn't just grieve, they acted. Out of compassion, 7 friends, including our listener, ordained for 7 days.
Ah, the buona fé.
Yes, that specific temporary ordination, often done around the cremation, to make merit for the person who passed.
A powerful act.
And our listener also donated 10,000 Bellato to the Salco 300-ton project, dedicating that merit to their friend too.
Which brings us straight to the spiritual insights in your material about what happened next, right? According to this framework.
Yeah, what does it say?
Well, it suggests the suicide was triggered by a breakup, yes. But it wasn't just that moment. It was apparently linked to past karma. Past karma. From a previous life.
Exactly. A life where he'd also committed suicide over love. Then it was jumping off a cliff, this time a building.
Wow. So like a pattern.
Kind of a suicide karma pattern, as your source puts it.
Yes.
A strong karmic tendency that could resurface under intense emotional stress.
Okay. And after he passed?
Well, for 7 days, his spirit apparently wandered near where it happened, trying to communicate, but unseen.
That sounds lonely and terrifying.
It does. His eventual fate, according to the source, was being taken to Yamalok.
Yamalok, that's the realm for karmic retribution in this tradition.
Correct. And the sentence was harsh, repeatedly jumping into a chasm, endless suffering.
Oh, that's bleak. But the friend's actions, the ordination, the donation.
Well, that's where the hope comes in. Those merits acted as a strong positive force, a counterbalance. They significantly reduced his punishment, the duration, the intensity.
So they actually helped him.
Yes. Bringing him closer to release from that specific karmic cycle. He apparently knows now he's nearing the end of that suffering. That idea that actions echo beyond this life and that compassion can have such a real impact even after death.
Yeah.
That's incredibly powerful.
It really is.
And speaking of unseen things, you mentioned his spirit was unseen, but our listener also recounted some strange occurrences people did report in those 7 days.
Yes, the sightings.
Right. Like a white dog was seen near the spot, sniffing the air, acting like it was playing with something invisible. And a close friend apparently saw the deceased's name and picture pop up as online on a computer. He thought it was his brother at first,
Okay.
but later found out the computer hadn't even been turned on.
Weird.
Yeah. and a security guard heard someone crying into the building. Then, maybe most striking, a junior student up on the 4th floor saw someone climb the balcony and jump. Rushed over. Nothing there.
Right. So what's fascinating here is how our own minds, our perceptions get shaped by intense emotions, right? Rather
Yep.
than actual external things happening.
Numito isn't really him.
According to the spiritual explanation here, no. These weren't actual appearances. His spirit was too weak, too obscured by his own actions to manifest clearly.
Obscured.
Yeah.
Okay, so what were these things people saw?
They're described as phantasmagorias. The term used is apatithan, basically mental projections.
Mental projections.
Yeah.
Like hallucinations?
Sort of, or misinterpretations. People were traumatized by the event, right? So their minds, already shaken, might connect something small, like a dog sniffing around, or a flicker on a screen, or even just a sound.
With a tragedy.
Exactly. They project meaning onto it based on their own shock and grief. Powerful internal experiences, but not necessarily external reality in this view.
That makes a kind of psychological sense too, doesn't it? How grief affects us.
Hmm.
But it's also a poignant reminder of those ripple effects you mentioned. His actions, the event itself, affecting everyone so deeply.
Absolutely. And that insight into how our emotional state colors our perception, that's pretty universal.
Okay, let's shift gears a bit. Moving from that very somber story, let's turn to one that highlights different aspects of connection and karma. This is about our listeners' grandparents.
A different kind of story altogether.
Yeah. The grandfather, he was a Chinese immigrant, came to Thailand when he was just 5, had a tough life, apparently, but eventually established a successful sack weaving factory in Thonburi.
Quite the achievement.
Seems so.
Hmm.
He was described as tall, fair-skinned, popular with the factory girls, but he wasn't interested in any of them.
Okay.
He met the grandmother while playing badminton near her house, and she actually learned sack weaving from him.
Ah, so connection started there.
It did. But then, well, life happened. Her family moved away, didn't tell him where, and later his factory burned down. A huge setback forced him to move too.
So they lost touch completely.
For years, yes. And then, this is the amazing part, one day he just coincidentally passed by her new home, recognized her younger sister walking outside.
No way.
Yeah. The sister led him right back to the grandmother, and, well, they eventually got married.
Wow. That really makes you wonder, was it just coincidence?
That's the big question, isn't it?
Well, according to the spiritual insights in your source material, no. Not just coincidence at all.
So what was it then?
It was attributed to shared merit from past lives, the concept called Bufasaniwat.
Bufasaniwad.
No, that means? It signifies a really strong, deep karmic bond, often from being husband and wife together in previous lives. That bond is so strong it basically orchestrates events to bring them back together, overcoming separation, time, circumstances.
Destiny, guided by past connection. That's actually really romantic in a karmic sense.
It is, isn't it? A testament to enduring connection.
And after they married, the grandfather sounds like he was a really good man. Diligent, patient, persistent, never drank, never unfaithful, led a happy, prosperous family life.
Sounds like a solid foundation.
He did have some interesting habits, though. Loved cooking, especially things like chicken feet, duck feet, pork hock.
Ah, traditional taste.
Yeah, followed Chinese ancestor worship traditions, but was also respectful of his grandkids doing Thai merit-making practices. Seemed adaptable,
Balance.
but his later years, they were really tough, health-wise, a whole series of problems. He fell, broke his femur, needed 3 surgeries, but because of his age, never really got his mobility back.
That's hard, especially after being active.
Then came diagnoses of liver cancer, emphysema, pulmonary edema, just one thing after another.
Oh, wow.
And it's noted he did smoke, started at 20, but amazingly quit cold turkey at 60 after having a stroke.
Quit cold turkey, that takes serious willpower.
Right. He also had hernia and prostate surgery. But despite all this suffering, the source says he never complained, always followed doctor's orders, and they really admired him for it.
Incredible resilience. But why so many illnesses? Does the source offer a karmic view on that?
It does.
And what's the connection?
The explanation points to the karma from killing animals for food across many past lives, especially, it seems, during times when he lived in agricultural societies.
Ah, some actions accumulating over lifetimes.
Exactly. That karma ripened, came to fruition in his later years, manifesting as all these severe health problems.
So even things like his food preferences in this life, liking those animal parts.
Are seen in this perspective as potentially linked to that deeper, older karmic cause. Puts a different spin on it, right?
It really does, adds another layer.
But even while sick, he kept up his spiritual efforts. He actually arranged for 2 more Buddha statues to be made, bringing his total to 4. Offered food to a monk.
Still making merit, even in suffering.
Yeah. He had multiple ICU visits, kept pulling through, till the very last one. He passed away peacefully at 83 after being unconscious for several days.
A peaceful end after a life with struggles. And what about afterwards, according to the insights?
Well, this is the beautiful part. Apparently, he passed with a clear, bright mind.
That's considered very important, right? The state of mind at death.
Crucial, yes. And he was reborn as an Akasateva.
An Akasateva. A celestial being. Like an angel and deva, but residing in space.
That's the description. Youthful, joyful, in a medium-sized golden mansion in space, experiencing great happiness now, directly from the merits he made as a human.
So the good deeds paid off, quite literally in his rebirth.
Seems so.
Yeah.
And those extra merits? The 2 Buddhist statues he sponsored while sick, plus another statue and a Sao Ka project funded 3 days after he passed, they made his afterlife even brighter, more radiant.
Wow. The positive actions continued to help him even after he was gone.
Exactly. And there's this really touching detail to end this part. His grandmother, she still misses him every single day.
Of course.
And after her evening prayers, she sends her thoughts to him, visualizing a celestial chariot rising to heaven. It's her way of connecting with him across the realms.
That's beautiful. It really makes you think, doesn't it? How many chance meetings or lasting bonds might actually be these echoes from somewhere deeper?
It really does. Okay, one more story that's just as fascinating. This one's about our listener's great uncle, so the grandmother's brother.
Okay, another family connection.
Right. And his life started with something pretty miraculous. As a tiny baby, just 2 months old, he got critically ill with something called hidden measles.
Hidden measles. Sounds serious.
Apparently, it was deadly. Lots of other kids in the village died from it around the same time. His family was basically preparing for the worst.
Oh, no.
But then out of nowhere, this Shipa cow shows up at their house.
A Shipa cow. A white-robed ascetic. A lay practitioner focused on meditation.
Exactly. And he walks in and immediately identifies the baby as the child he'd been seeing in his meditations. Called him the big-headed one.
Big-headed, not literally, presumably.
No. In this spiritual context, it signifies a past connection, maybe a particular energy signature he recognized from his meditation, not a physical description.
Got it. So he recognized the baby from his practice.
Yes. And he told the family to do a simple ritual, offer 7 colored flowers or maybe 7 incense sticks. They did it, and miraculously the baby was cured. Just like that.
Wow. That's incredible.
And the story adds that this Shipa cow had looked at other sick kids in the village but said, nope, not the right one. He refused any payment too. The family owned a fabric shop, so they gave him some long white fabric, which he accepted.
So who was this ascetic? And why that specific baby? There must be a deeper connection, according to the source material.
There is a very deep one.
Okay, tell me.
The source explains he was actually an old teacher of the great uncle from past lives, an ascetic, a human practitioner of meditation, not, fully enlightened being, but spiritually developed.
A teacher from past lives.
Yes, and apparently the great uncle had been given to him as a son, spiritually speaking, in many previous lives.
Given as a son, so a really strong bond.
Extremely strong. A powerful karmic and merit connection. And that's why the great uncle's image appeared in the ascetic's meditation. That bond drew him there, compelled him to heal this specific child, and explains why he didn't heal the others. His connection was personal, karmic.
It's extraordinary. Help arriving across lifetimes because of an ancient bond. Yeah. Amazing.
It really is. But despite that miraculous start, the great uncle's life as an adult also had some serious misfortunes.
Ah, the twists and turns of karma, perhaps.
It seems like it. One morning, he's riding his bike to the market. A motorcyclist stops him, pretends to ask for directions.
Oh, I have a bad feeling about this.
Yeah. And the guy pulls a gun, steals his golden necklace. But what upset the great uncle even more was that the robber also took his collection of rare, gold-encased Buddha amulets. He valued those way more than the gold itself.
Oh, that's devastating for a collector, especially of sacred objects. Why did that happen? What's the karmic explanation there?
Well, the source links it back to actions in his youth.
Okay.
Apparently, he used to steal money from his parents quite often. Not just for snacks, but also to gamble.
Ah, gambling. That often carries heavy karma in these teachings.
Exactly. Gambling, specifically, is said to bring calamitous karma. The word used as Wybat, affecting one's possessions.
Mm.
So that past karma, the stealing and especially the gambling, ripened and manifested as this robbery, causing him to lose his prized possessions.
A direct consequence decades later. It's a stark reminder, isn't it? Even things done in youth can echo forward.
Definitely. In his situation now, it's incredibly difficult. He's been paralyzed for 10 years.
Paralyzed? How?
He had a stroke, a burst cerebral capillary caused by high blood pressure. It happened right after he fell and hit his head getting out of the bath.
Oh, that's terrible. Bedridden.
Yes, largely unable to care for himself. And the source mentions he feels deep despair, hopelessness, which is completely understandable.
Of course. Utterly overwhelming. This really raises that difficult question, doesn't it? How do you find hope, find strength when life hits you that hard?
What advice does the source offer for him or anyone in that kind of situation?
Well, the wisdom shared is pretty crucial, I think. First, it emphasizes accepting the reality. Illness is a natural part of having a physical body. Everyone carries their own karmic load.
Acceptance as a first step.
Right. And while doctors work on the physical body, the individual needs to work on their inner state. Cultivating peace by reflecting on past good deeds, past merits, and practicing meditation, even just mentally, to find an inner refuge.
Finding peace within, regardless of the external.
Exactly. That can bring happiness even now in the present, and it prepares you for whatever comes next. And there's strong encouragement, too. Don't give up. Look around. Even people in worse situations keep fighting for life. This difficult time, it can actually be seen as an opportunity.
An opportunity? How?
An opportunity to fully commit to making new merit, to focus the mind on positive aspirations, like aiming to become a bodhisattva, someone dedicated to enlightenment for the sake of all beings. Turn the suffering into fuel for spiritual growth.
Wow. So even in paralysis and despair, there's still agency. There's still something you can do internally that's powerful.
It really is.
So what really stands out from all these stories is just how intricate karma seems to be. Consequences popping up in unexpected ways, across lifetimes even.
Absolutely. It's not simple cause and effect sometimes.
But also that we always seem to have the power to create new causes, positive ones. Even when things seem incredibly bleak, that message of ongoing agency, it's strong.
Very strong.
Okay, as we wrap up this deep dive, let's just quickly recap the takeaways. It's been quite a journey through these experiences you shared.
It really has.
We've seen this incredibly complex web of karma, how it seems to influence everything from, tragic deaths and what might happen after, to fated reunions, to the personal suffering that arises from past actions.
And the flip side, too, the power of compassion, of merit-making, how it can actually help, even after someone's passed away, offering comfort, reducing suffering.
Right, and ultimately, maybe the biggest point is that while our outer circumstances can be wildly different, rich, poor, sick, healthy, the path to inner peace, to resilience, seems to lie in our internal focus, our choices, our good deeds now.
Yeah, if we connect this to the bigger picture, these stories really underscore that fundamental idea. Every action matters. It has a consequence. We can't erase past karma.
No changing the past.
But we can always choose to create new, positive causes. We can always find that inner strength no matter what's happening around us. That choice is always there.
The deep dive today definitely gave us a lot to chew on. From those tragic ends to the miraculous interventions, it's just so clear that life's tapestry is woven with all these threads, visible and invisible, cause and effect.
A complex weave.
So, here's a final thought to leave you with. Consider this. If our actions, big and small, truly can have these far-reaching consequences, maybe even across lifetimes, what small, intentional act of kindness, compassion, or merit could you weave into your day today? Knowing it might contribute to a future or reality you can't even fully grasp right now. Something to think about.
Definitely food for thought.
Thank you so much for joining us on this deep dive, and especially thank you, our listener, for providing the incredibly rich and personal source material that made this whole exploration possible today.